Hi, we're Owen, Lynn, and Maggie of Van Trekking Lifestyle.
And on our channel, we try to share with you our journey through retirement and how our RV travel makes that just a little bit better because, well, we get to take this little rascal with us.
And if you missed last week's video, you need to know that we're in the process of preparing to go on an out west trip this fall, and we need to get our RV ready for that.
Last week we had 11 weeks to go before we pull out of here for at least 2 months, maybe 3, and now we have 10. So this week we're going to share with you a little about what we've been doing this week, how much we've gotten accomplished, what new things have popped up, and while we're doing that, we'll cook a little meal for you, and then later we'll take you out on our lake.
Sounds good. We still want to be able to show you some of our cooking ideas, and a lot of times what we do is when we're at home we try out new recipes just to see if we think they're going to work on the road. But we will be cooking differently this time. We have currently gone on a diet, and that was mostly because Owen's back. He's been battling his back issues. I think we've shared that with you in some of our past videos. And it's been going on for like 3 years, and he never ever seems to get better. It actually gets worse every time he does it. So one of the things that we have decided to do, and he had decided it, I've been saying it for years, and I finally had to threaten to make him go to the doctor if he didn't do something. But he has actually started to go on a diet, and he's exercising regularly. Right now we're on the anti-inflammatory diet, which has worked out well. He's lost like 25 pounds, and to be honest, I don't think he's felt better in years. He's doing a whole lot more. We're getting a lot done around the house. He just feels better. We just feel like a healthy lifestyle is going to allow us to be here a lot longer, enjoying what we love to do.
So another thing that we do now is anytime that we can get some steps in, we do. So turns out I have lost enough weight that I really can't wear the shorts that I normally wear anymore. So now I've ordered a few more pair of shorts I know I like in a smaller size. I'm going to walk up to the mailbox and get them. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to share with you my thoughts about what it's been like to be on a diet for the last 2 months and how it's made me feel. And actually, what do I do? I guess the first thing to say is we never turn down an opportunity to get steps in now. I think the most steps I've gotten in when we were at the coast at Myrtle Beach is about 19,000 steps in one day, but I usually try to get anywhere between 15 and 17,000 steps in a day. And that'll equate to being about, 6 to 7 miles based upon how I do it. We also use a treadmill inside because that makes a huge difference. And I've learned that if you put the treadmill on a 20 to 30% incline, then guess what? You burn more calories. The bottom line is, it took me for 67 years to figure out that if you burn more calories than you eat every day, you're going to lose weight. Now, the last time I did this, I didn't do any exercising or building of strength or strength building or anything. And as Lynn would say, I look like a frail old man. So this time, you probably can't notice here, but I've begun doing push-ups and strengthening exercises, and I've gradually started adding in weights. And so the entire process was so I could get my back where it didn't hurt anymore, because when it starts really impacting your ability to go out and travel and have a good time, you have to do something. And she was pretty serious. I was going to have to go in and get an operation, or I was going to have to do this on my own. And I chose to do it on my own. And if you're in the same situation, and I meet a lot of you out there when my back's hurting, that you have the same problems, I want you to know that if you haven't tried this, I think if I could inspire you to do anything, I think you should try it. Because, I don't know, you can see for me, I have lost 25 pounds. I feel better than I have felt since I was in high school. I don't think I could run a marathon right now, but I think I can walk and keep up with Lynn everywhere we go. In here, 2 pairs of shorts that are 2 sizes smaller that I've been wearing for the last 20 years. So I want to reiterate, if you walk 15,000 steps a day, that doesn't mean you're going to lose 25 pounds. Because first of all, You may be in a healthy BMI state. In other words, your weight to your height, you may be healthy right now. But if you were overweight like I wasn't obese, but I was overweight, you stand a chance of burning more fat. If you learn how to walk slower but longer, you'll actually burn more fat. And if you can teach yourself to not eat the sugar and white flour and bread and regular cereal and sweeteners and all the things that are actually really bad for you, if you can learn how to do that and be happy with more natural things that you eat and limit the number of calories that you consume every day by watching your portions, then I bet you can lose weight too. And if you have, or if you're in the process of doing that, or if I've inspired you to hit the road and try to do this yourself, well, let us know, okay? Because I wish you luck in doing it. All I can tell you is this: if you do it, I think you're going to feel better. And all of us, as we get either close to retirement or we get into our retirement years, I think the goal needs to be to not only live as long as you can to enjoy your retirement, but to live as healthy as you can and to get as fit as you can so that you can enjoy every day, and something like a sore back doesn't take weeks out of your year that you could have been enjoying traveling. Also, I want to point out that I'm not saying all this so that you'll say, hey, you look good. I don't give a rat's butt about that. I've long since lost all my give a dang about that, you know. As long as Lynn thinks I look okay, that's all that matters to me. But I am telling you this so that you'll know that I feel better. And if you're struggling with the same thing, you don't have to wrestle with it. You can at least try this and see if you feel better too. You might look better too, and that's not a bad thing.
I got her ears pinned back.
Get my ears out, Mama. I can't hear anything.
There
How am I supposed to beg for food? There you go. You better. So tonight on the griddle, we're going to have something I haven't really cooked a lot of before, but I've learned that I absolutely love it. It's really good for us. It tastes awesome, and it's pretty easy to prepare. We're going to have broccoli. I'll put that down, and I've got 3 zones, but I'm only going to use 2 zones on this cook. I'll cook the broccoli over here and steam it for a little bit, and I'll turn this down, and that's all I'll need to do. And then on this side in the middle, I'll put some oil down in just a moment, and I'll put some salmon on here. So while I cook this, I want to catch you up on what we've been doing this week as far as the things we need to accomplish. Anytime you go on a trip that's going to be around 9,000 to 10,000 miles, which is what we'll end up doing when we loop all the way out west and back, there's a lot of planning that goes in. If you're thinking about upgrading or changing something on your RV, then that's going to change how you do your trip. And so it took a lot of preparing. The thing we haven't been able to do in a long time is we haven't really been able to, with the Airstream, the Basecamp 20X, we haven't been able to go out, stop at a Cracker Barrel or do a Harvest Host or anything else, because unlike our previous 2 RVs, we don't have any lithium. So we thought the best thing to do is just figure out how to DIY put lithium on this thing. So that's what I set out to do. And as I did it, I reached out to our longtime partner, Blue Eddy, and said, you know, what would you recommend? Well, they watched what we were doing and came back and said, we would like to sponsor your trip out west and provide you with a full Apex 300 system. And I went, yeah, it's happy dance worthy. But wait a minute, before you do, let me make sure it's going to work for us and it's going to be the best. So a couple days ago, Lynn went on a trip with her friend Charlene to go shopping and do girl things, and I stayed here, and I spent the entire day mapping out every single detail I'd have to go through in order to make that work. And when she got back, I was so excited. I had a project plan a mile long, and I brought it up and I started reading it to her, and she got glassy-eyed. She just pretty much I lost her. Just a few seconds into it, I lost her. She pretty much just said, whoa, wait a minute, what is this? And when I told her all I was going to have to do, I saw pretty quickly, she just said, this is crazy. You cannot do all this. This is too big of a job to DIY. And every time we do a DIY project, either something goes wrong or you make something cost a lot more than we're ever going to be able to get out of it. So I don't know. If you're married, you have a significant other, I think you probably have heard that same story before yourself. And so she did what I like to say. She peed in my cornflakes. I still need to do the lithium though. And so, you know, you may be thinking, you look at the Basecamp and you say, well, it's lifted and you can take it off road and you can take it in dirt roads. But what I really need to do is share with you a story about when I bought my first 4-wheel drive Tundra. I was really happy about it. It was supposed to snow that next day. I came home with that thing. I was so happy. We got out in it. Everybody loved it. A really good deal on a 4-wheel drive Tundra. The next morning it snowed. I got out there and I said, I'll drive the kids to school and I'll take us both to work. I couldn't find the 4-wheel drive button. It wasn't anywhere. I went inside and looked in the manual, couldn't find it. Looked on YouTube, couldn't find it. Saw where it's supposed to be, went back out. Lynn got the invoice out and said, you big dummy, you bought a 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive truck. And that's kind of what we have with the Airstream. It looks like you should be able to take it off-road. And I guess in a lot of ways you can, as long as the weather is just right. But if the weather changes or the weather gets bad, it's kind of like a 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive truck. You can't do it. By the way, this is my new Blackstone Bronco. It was my Father's Day gift from Lynn. She knows how much I love to cook on Blackstone. So we'll do that. Put that under a dome, and now we'll let that do its thing. I'll turn the temperature way down, and we'll start getting ready to put the salmon on there. So where was I? Oh yeah, having to get ready to go out west, there's a lot you had to do. Look at this salmon. Man, it's going to be good. There's a lot you have to do, and there's a lot to prepare. And when you think about all those things, you know, I looked at it, and Lynn very quickly came back and said, you know what? I think we should at least look at what other options are out there and available, because this is crazy for you to put this much time and effort into something that it might be better than what we can get, but we don't need it to be just, you know, just top state of the art. So we started looking. The other option that I could do besides the Blue Eddy option is, if they'd had it when we bought ours, we may have gotten it, but there now is a Basecamp 20XE, which is an all-electric Basecamp. So we decided that eventually we're going to go, not eventually, really soon, we're going to go take a look at that. And there's a chance that we will decide that instead of getting the lithium put in by Blue Eddy, that we may just go ahead and buy something and upgrade what we have. I know that's totally different, and we haven't even shown you Shiny yet. Avocado oil, that's something we can eat. I'm good, sweetie. So is it called Old Bay or Old Bay? A lot of us call it Old Bay, but it's Old Bay. Old Bay seasoning. We're going to put some of that on this side, because in just a minute I'm going to flip that over. We'll see if we can't get a good char on this side and get some Maillard reaction going on. That's a pretty fancy word for a country Carolina boy, Maillard reaction. And I like to use this Tone's black pepper, restaurant style black pepper. It's a little thicker and it blackens up better. So I'll do this, get it ready. I'll hit it with one more shot of the avocado oil to stick that on there. And now it's time to flip these guys over. All right, here's a little of that bang bang sauce. We'll put this on there, and then I will I'll cover it up let that glaze really get soaked in and get to being happy. And let's cover those up, and then we'll be almost ready to plate it up and go. And remember, I split that bang bang sauce up. We have some that we can put on top too.
Put a little bit on the.
I told you she likes that stuff.
It's good. And a little bit on your rice.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. She'd
like
probably
a
give
lot.
me a kiss if I could wear that as lipstick. Let's dig in and get me a bite. I bet she's already had a bite.
I did eat some of the broccoli.
Broccoli's awesome.
Rice is rice, you know.
Yeah, but it is brown rice because we can't have white rice. So here.
This is a diet that we feel like we can still eat healthy, so it's not like we're starving.
We get full every day,
Right.
and we never really go hungry. You just have to be careful what you eat. Our friends Harry and Pat that we spent some time with, you probably saw us. Well, you didn't because we didn't put it on the video. We went to Key West with them and went to the Keys with them and spent some time with them, and they've been on a diet and they look awesome. And so it kind of inspired us to research and figure out what was best for us. But we'll go ahead and eat. We'll come back in a moment and we'll finish this up.
All right. It's off the skin really easy.
Yeah. Do you like it? Do you still like it better without the skin?
I don't know. I liked it last time because it was real crispy.
I know on both sides it's really, really crispy. Have I ever told you how my grandfather would, he probably never ate salmon, but he used to cook carp. Did I ever tell you about that?
That's a board.
Yeah, that you nail it to a board and you soak it in salt water for 2 days.
And then you eat the board.
Yeah, and then you eat the board.
I've heard that many times.
I don't know if you had or not. Wow, that was a great meal. I could probably eat another one and eat another plate of rice, but I've learned to limit my portions. Maggie wants to go in and get her food. We're going to clean the griddle up and clean up inside, and then we'll sit down and close this. Well, we've got it all cleaned up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
always good.
Going to be a big week.
It is going to be a big week.
We have to make a decision. As my grandfather would say, it's time to crap or get off the john.
Yeah.
We
And
have to.
I am not good at making decisions.
You are terrible at making
And I'm
decisions.
sure Owen probably said earlier, I didn't hear him what he said, but I'm sure he probably said I freaked out over the Blue Eddy DIY. And
what happened with that?
I probably just got overwhelmed. And he was talking really fast, and I couldn't follow what he was saying. And he was all excited and everything. And I didn't really freak out. It's just it sounded like so much stuff that he had to do. And, and I worry about all the electrical stuff. I know he would, be really careful, and he would probably be really good at it.
Right.
But I do feel like that when you do any kind of DIY with a RV or anything that you normally don't get your money back out of it, it actually could hurt the value of the unit. So
we've learned that the hard way. We lifted our Echo, and we put different lights on. We changed up the interior of it.
Yep.
And I can't tell you the number of people when we tried to sell that said, do you still have all the original parts?
Right.
Because I want to take it back to original.
Yeah.
We've learned our lesson. So anything we do, if we choose to go to the Blue Eddy way, we're going to do it so it's non-obtrusive, and that's the good thing about that.
Yeah,
is
but
that
I mean, he would have had
portable. And
what he was telling me is he was going to have to change all the wiring in it and change.
Just have to put a new transfer switch in it so it knows it's getting it from the inverter, and all the wiring from the battery side on back we'd probably have to change in order to be able to put power to all the outlets. And so I may convince her to do that, but then come back next week and we'll share with you what we decide. But
now, after all that's over, we're all cleaned up and stuff. We got a beautiful afternoon, and we get to get on the lake and go for a little paddle, and you can do some fishing.
Sorry, buddy. We hit a wall. Mama tried to tell us about that, didn't she?
You made it.
Right 2 o'clock on one of the bare limbs up there.
Hi, we're Owen, Lynn, and Maggie of Man Trucking Lifestyle. Maggie's licking me.
You taste good, Mommy. Now she's licking me. You taste bad, Daddy. Okay, outtakes.
Okay.
Hey, Alexa, what's them kids doing down there?
I don't know, they're making a lot of noise.
They are.
Yeah.
Somebody's doing, I think maybe there may be a tree or something that fell on the other side of the lake and they're trying to get it up or something. I don't know. They may be, we may be stranded here at our house and the road's really closed up there and we can't get out of the neighborhood.
I think, no, I don't
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, it just sounds like a garbage truck or something over there.
So what's your thought for today?
Um,
That's a good one.
but we're not a,
Get on
a
the
fitness diet channel for sure.
No, we're not. So don't count on that for long.
Yeah.
But we are going to try to make it a lifestyle. I haven't wanted to be on a diet. I've always fought that. And then a very smart person told me that every person on earth is on a diet. It might not be a good diet, but what you choose to eat every day and what you choose to drink every day, that's your diet. So if you get a choice, I don't know. As we get older, we really want to not just live older, but to enjoy as long as we can, right?
Right.
Make